So hello, I'll talk about my weekly manga reading log. I've never recorded with my camera before, so we'll see how this turns out. This is what I read this week. Let's see, not so much. I get most of my reading done on Saturday, which is the same day I'm recording this. So I'll redo it again. So to start with Hunter x Hunter, the fight with Kuroroko and Hisoka, I thought was pretty cool, especially, and this is going to be obviously a few bit of spoilers if you haven't read it, since this whole manga is the resolution of that fight. But it was so cool to see Hisoka bring himself back to life with his gum nen ability. I thought that was amazing. And he can just like rebuild his body parts, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I completely forgot about that. Like right here, he gets his hand blown off and then he just rebuilds it. I also am pretty hyped to see where it goes with all these nen beasts here that keep popping up. I'm like, what? These things are crazy sick. You can see them all there. I really can't wait to get into this. But this volume was pretty much all fighting, which was great until it got to the politics. The politics really slowed down Hunter x Hunter for me. It's like, I get it, they're important for the world building, but there comes a time where I'm just like, listen, this is not the Hunter x Hunter I got into 20 volumes ago now. This is this is politics x Hunter. So, or politics Hunter. So that part, I can't wait to kind of move past it. Like the whole chairman election arc, I was just like, oh my god, I get it. Persian's scheming, he's scheming, he knows that he's gonna win, and I'm just like, this is not the normal shonen manga. I'm reading Death Note or something right now. It's kind of like what it felt like, but and in any case, I really like the Chimera arc, so I was like really looking for more of that, and then I got a Battle of Politics instead, so I was like really like with the chairman arc. But it was cool to see how Kurapika's sister works and everything like that. In any case, I'm really excited to see where it goes with the new world and everything. It's an exciting thing, especially with Netero's son leading the expedition. Next, I have the quintessential quintuplets, and this is not in any specific order. Like, it's not the order I read them in or anything like that. I read this, and the concept is pretty much, this tutor is like super cheap. He's trying to help get his family out of debt, and then these 5 sisters are like super rich, and the dad's trying to make sure that the sisters don't fail out of his high school and they can graduate. And they all have their own individual quirks. Like, one of them's really big into history, like that guy from prison school, who was like a huge history buff. But it was just okay. At least the first volume. I definitely didn't think it was all that funny. I didn't think it was all that much of much. It just seemed okay. Hopefully it gets way better, because everybody says that this thing's like amazing. But, like, I thought that this was pretty funny, this scene where he adds up all their scores and then they get 100. He's like, listen, if you just get a 50 on this test, then I don't have to tutor you. And they're like, easy peasy. And then he goes, it's amazing, you all got 100 points if you add them all together. And then I kind of died laughing. But that was pretty much my only laugh out loud moment. And that one was a little bit spoiled to me, because I think it was in one of the trailers for the anime or something like that. But it was an okay read. It definitely wasn't bad. It was just, I was expecting super good stuff from it, and I didn't get super good stuff. I just got okay stuff. So I was just like, what? Why is everybody saying this is amazing? So hopefully it gets way better. I got like 11 of the volumes or something like that. I got most of them, so I'll still be reading through it. Next, I read Kuroroko no Basketball, or Kuroko's Basketball, volume 9 and 10. Volume 9 and 10 is pretty good. It shows the very ending here of the tournament between what's his name? Kagami and Midoriya. And that was a really cool fight, I thought, and then also, Aomi versus the Mimic here was pretty cool too. And so I was happy to read all that stuff. That was cool. But then it goes into this flashback arc, with Kagami and his friend. And I thought that was resolved like super nonchalantly. Like this time for real. we'll figure out if I get to remain your brother or not. And then like it rains and it's like postponed again, and I'm like, that's fucked. Like, what the heck is that? You know, you build it up, you tell me the flashback, and then you're like, oh, but he pulled his punches, so he didn't try as hard as he really could. And now the friend, the brother from America is like upset, and now we're gonna fight again. This time for real. Whoever loses has to give up the ring. And then it rains, and they're like, oh well, better luck next time. And I was like, are you serious right now? Like, what? And so now they delay that one again until it goes further on. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But I was like so happy to see how close it got with the Amane versus Kisei match. I was like, man, that was like, it was too cool to see how well he could match Ayomine. So I really can't wait to see how far the Mimic can keep going. The next one, Kuroroko's Basketball 11 and 12. You know, Kuroroko's Basketball, I was so excited to get it all back in, and so I was happy to start reading it again because I had like powered through 1 through 8. This one's another flashback arc. This is the flashback of the upperclassmen and how Iron Will got kind of knocked out of the tournament by what's the name? Kurosaki won. Oh, and then in the last volume, it was like so ridiculous. Kurosaki won. The main character in that team goes, yeah, you know, I knew it was going to be a tie. It's like, bullshit. Who predicts a tie? He's like, it was just as scheduled. I'm like, that is not true. You were pulling that out of your ass. So I thought that was funny, but like, it was not supposed to be. In any case, it was cool to see them win, you know, against Kurosaki 1. It was kind of like dumb though, because it was just like they used dirty tricks, you know, and so Kurosaki 1 wins by using dirty tricks. There's nothing amazing about their team. And so you just read page after page of them getting beat up, and the ref is visually impaired. He needs an eye exam. He needs to see an eye doctor because these guys are dropping elbows like crazy. They're like stepping on toes. It's like not even close. Or like Saber needs to learn how to like fall down or something, you know, because like they're not letting these fouls be called. And I'm just thinking to myself, there was a whole arc or a whole game where Kagami and Awane both get like fouls called on them non-stop, and not one foul gets called against this other team. And I'm like, dude, what? Because that other ref was like pretty hardcore with those two, and now this guy, he's just like doesn't see anything. And I'm like, man, I get it, it's for the drama, but like, talk about ridiculous. I was so annoyed. I'm like, man, this stuff would have been called. I don't even watch basketball or play it, but I'm like, man, no ref misses this stuff in other sports. So, like, you gotta step up your game, man. Here we have How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift? This right here is by the guy who made Kengan Ashura, evidently. I didn't actually know that when I picked it up, but I was happy to know it. The concept of it is this tan girl's gaining weight right there because she loves to eat. And her name is Hibiki, and so she's gaining weight and she wants to, you know, get in shape and go to the gym. So a new gym opens up and she gets a free thing to go to the gym. She meets her trainer, Mashio, and she also meets one of her friends, Ayumi. And Ayumi's like the class president, but she's got like this huge muscle fetish. You can see it right here. And their trainer, of course, you know, he's this nice, mild-mannered, slim-looking guy, so, you know, Hibiki's in for it, you know. She's like, man, cute trainer, gym, lose weight, heck yeah. And then so she's like, all right, let's do it. And so the manga actually can be a little bit like Food Wars, where they like over-sexualize things, as you can kind of see here. So they'll tell you how to work out, and they'll show you the muscle groups that it trains, and then they kind of over-sexualize it a bit, just like in Food Wars. Whoops, my camera's slipping here. Anyways, so yeah, they try to train them in food, so that way you can learn how to train too. So it's like an informational manga, which is kind of nice. But in any case, they find out that the trainer is actually, you know, not just mild-mannered guy, but he's also ripped AF. And so every time he flexes, he like rips his shirt in half. It's like hilarious. They also find out that their teacher started going to the gym now. And so the teacher is trying to get the facial expressions in this are like so good. It reminds me of Grand Blue Dreaming. And this reference right here cracked me up. Instead of fists of the North Star, it's lifts of the North Star. I was dying. I've got so many laugh out loud moments from this manga. But in any case, their teacher is actually a bodybuilder. Well, she's not a bodybuilder. She's a cosplayer. And so she started to gain weight, and so she wants to lose weight in a way that's kind of hidden from her students. So that way her students don't find out that she's a cosplayer, and she's a famous cosplayer too. So but she hides it because she uses a stage name. And so they actually end up going to the same gym as her, of course. They keep bumping into their teacher, so the teacher's essentially like one of their crew. You know, she's not always there, but when she is, it's pretty funny. They also get a new girl to join, which is this Russian girl. You know, they have this arm wrestling tournament, and Hibiki's actually really good at it, which is kind of funny because Hibiki sucks at everything. So they show you how to do the arm wrestle correctly, and Hibiki just slams, and it goes, game over. I died laughing there, and you can see smoke coming out of her fucking hands, and she's got like the devil look, and then the trainer Mashio goes, I'll face her, and you can see how slim he looks, and he starts to take off the clothes, and it's like, how did that even fit in there, you know? And so they go through their arm wrestle. So I won't spoil the winner of the arm wrestle contest, but it's great. There's a lot of references to other movies and anime in here as well, so I really like it. You know, this is probably my favorite read, or at least, I don't know, it's a close one. After I read the first one, I thought it was second, like number 2, but now I'm like, is it number 1 after reading the second one, because it was so good. I like couldn't believe it. So if you had no interest in this manga, like I actually didn't have any interest in it, and I just picked it up because it was on sale from Right Stuff during the holiday sale, and I've never been so glad to pick this thing up before because I was dying laughing the whole time. You know, gag mangas aren't that my kind of thing. You know, informational mangas aren't really my kind of a thing. But I was like, you know, I like to weightlift. I haven't weightlifted in a long time because of the virus and everything. So I figured, what the heck? And so I'm so glad I picked it up because, like, you know, I'm also kind of learning newer things and everything like that. But, like, man, I did not expect this comedy to be of this level. It blew me away. Next we have Gigant, or Gigant, however it's supposed to be said, by the creator of Gantz. I can't actually show you guys any pages. This manga is super NSFW, not safe for work. This one I thought was my favorite one. You know, there is this really weird guy dancing in the street in his underwear, and like he's got this helmet on and everything like that, and you know, it's just kind of bizarre. And so this kid just living his normal life. He wants to be a director, just like his dad is. And so he's failing out of school, living a normal life. He finds out this porn star that he really likes lives in his area, and the porn star has all these like slander posters posted about her around the street. So he takes off the posters, and as he's taking off the posters, he runs into her, the porn star. Her name is Papiko. So Papiko. Now, as he's going with Papiko, he finds out that, you know, Papiko's boyfriend's kind of a dick. He's pretty abusive to her and her dog. You know, it's just messed up. And so what ends up happening is, you know, they go out to dinner as a thank you for putting on the posters, and then they exchange line numbers, which is an app for messaging. And eventually, the relationship kind of kicks up to the next level. So once the relationship kicks up to the next level, you know, he starts going over her house, the boyfriend starts getting jealous, and then she also gains this ability by saving this man with the weird, like, helmet thing and cape and underwear. He turns into a doll after she saves him, and he gives her this weird thing. This weird thing goes on her arm, and she can control the size of her, like Ultraman, and it's pretty cool. The concept, like I said, is super weird, but nothing you wouldn't expect from Gantz. Now, the next weird thing, as if that's not enough, there's this website called the ETE that elementary schoolers are using, like, nonstop. Their elementary schoolers in Japan are apparently, like, huge trolls. Because whatever they vote for, you know, in a poll will come up with a few questions, and whichever one wins, the wish is granted. So one day it's like raining, it's literally raining shit. which is hilarious. Another day, like this giant god of destruction comes down and tries to destroy Japan's populace by like to 100,000 instead of like 1 million. And so she has to fight the god of destruction. And so it's this really kind of cool thing, and I think it's aliens, but I'm not sure. But there's tons of product placement in this, like advertisement for Gantz and Inuyashiki and PlayStation. It's pretty funny. But like these, I read through this like crazy, and like as the parents get involved and everything like that, and as the story kind of develops, I'm like more and more into it. But like as you can see, she's like totally naked the whole time she's big. This was a little censored, so I can kind of show that to you. But yeah, the government gets involved in everything, but this is totally one that you have to be, it says older teen, but you probably have to be like 18 or older technically before anyone would recommend it to you, because it's just straight up naked woman running around, giant naked woman. But you know, the main character loves it, and Papiko is like, she is not loving it, but she likes her new boyfriend, that's for sure, the high schooler, even though she's like 26 or something like that. Which also comes up as a bit of an issue, which I was surprised about, because Japan's not usually one to really address that kind of a thing, typically anyways. At least not in manga. Well, in any case, that's what I read this week. What I'm going to be reading next week is probably going to be more of this. You know, I finished all of these here, and I was upset because I wanted more. But, you know, I think 4 is out, and so it'll probably be on its way here soon. I'll definitely be reading How Heavy Are Your Dumbbells. I've got 3 through, what is this here? 4 to left, so just 2 more. Kuroroko no Basketball, or Kuroroko's Basketball. I'm going to keep reading that as well. Probably another 2, maybe just 1. Hunter x Hunter, I'll probably read 1 or 2 more. I'm trying to pace myself on Hunter x Hunter, since it's, you know, it's so delayed constantly. So there's really no rush to read it. I just want to kind of see what's next. I'm halfway through the next book anyways, so, you know, I'll keep reading it. They can be such a slog though, because of all the exposition that goes through sometimes, and it's just like, man, it's not the manga I grew up, you know, I got in for, but you know, it still is pretty good. It just is, man, I'm gonna forget all this exposition by the time I have to reread it all. So it's kind of annoying, but whatever, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Comment below what you guys are reading this week, and maybe if you want to read along, you know, we can talk about it in the comments a little bit about what happened in the manga that we're reading. So I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.